Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey. It's chilly here in Chicago. The temperature's dropping. I don't think we're going to be able to get out and do a remote this weekend. I still have footage left over from the remotes we did. 3 remotes this year. I really rather wait and shoot new versions of some of this material to upload because we have a new camera and we have a whole new sound system. It's a device that we slapped together using other components and battery packs and things like that. So it's a powered mixer that records individual tracks and has the power amp to power the PA speakers. It's everything all in one. The MP3 player to play the rhythm track, the drums. So, like one song has a clean lead and then there's a distorted guitar lead, a solo. And it's always kind of hard to get those volume levels right. I'm thinking, well, with the new gear, I can go in and access individual tracks and edit them, make it louder on the one part, quieter on the other if need be. So it'll be exciting. You have the opportunity to work with this new equipment and bring a higher quality product to the internet. I'm excited. Some of these songs, this material is old, but I haven't brought it to you guys yet. So yeah, I'm excited about how many more times are we going to get to go out. It all depends on the weather, you know. So we watched M. Night Shyamalan Trap movie. I did a review warning people not to watch it. It was we watched the other half of it, and it really, the second act, it got like really slow and like a lot of just drama. A lot of like long shots of Josh Harnett just going like just making indistinguishable facial effects. Movie was, I can't believe that wasn't like that movie The Room by Tommy Wiseau. Like the studio was like, let's take this M. Night Shyamalan ding dong and make this just the worst movie people have ever seen and then release it. And I mean, he's in the movie. The guy who wrote it is in this unbelievably bad, pretentious, where like the writing, the lines, the scripts was what was bad about it. The script, the premise of the movie is a guy taking his daughter to a concert, and the concert itself was unbelievably bad. Like real, just awful. This tastes funny, honey. Okay, too much mango stuff in it. So yeah, I made some major lifestyle changes because of my diagnosis. I have a health thing. And it's been hot, so I've been just like isolating myself. And like the last week, alls I did was play video games. That's all I did it's been 1 week. Is today Monday? Yeah. I'm playing this game called Bloons Battles 2, version 2. I was playing Bloons TD6, that's the single player version where you just play the game by yourself. Bloons Battles, they pair you up with other people randomly, and you can't type to them. They've got different expressions like emojis that you can send up, but there's nothing like, you know, there's an angry guy like that's all that I'm doing. It's all like 4th grade kids, and they're all either cheating or they're unbelievably good at this fucking thing. It's monkeys that pop balloons. You're like, okay, you can buy like a lumberjack monkey or a doctor monkey. They're all different, and they all have different ways of dispatching the balloons. So it's a really creative, unbelievably addictive, and it's pay to play. Now, I haven't spent a dime. I gave him $10 for battles. I forgot how much I spent on TD6. I think I might have spent 20 on that. But I mean, I played it for like 6 months, and I'll go back and play it again. It's a, like I said, good video games. They're a hole where you can just throw massive chunks of your life. So like if you were arrested and you had to go to jail for 10 years, what I would say is get a good system and some really good video games, and you could do the time. Like, mind you, yeah, you'd get depressed. Because for me, about one week, after about a week of that's all you did from when you woke up to when you go to bed, you'll start getting, it'll start taking its toll on you. You start seeing the game. When you go to bed, you close your eyes and that's all you see is the game. And then you might start having a claustrophobic or just like a protect yourself reaction where your body's like trying to tell you, hey, you need to find something else to do tomorrow. So we're going to watch Borderlands, which is a video game. I never really played I played it for about a month, and I played it more recently. I think that game came out more around 2000, 2006 in there, and I probably didn't play it until like maybe 2016. Not a huge fan of the game. I got into some like kind of like an ice, like a frozen lake I was playing. Spent a lot of time on this lake trying to kill all these guys and move on to the next thing, and I don't know, I just lost interest with it. But the movie has Kevin Hart and the girl from Halloween, I forgot her name. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. Who's the Carmen Electra? Who's the...
No,
Kate Blanchett. So, yeah, it's a real kind of like Kevin Hart's in it, but like there's no white guy lead in the movie. It's all feminine. And on a side note, I would expect none other than Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States, seeing on how we have been worked on by the mass media system over the past years in an attempt to change the way that society looks at women, to try to take them out of the kitchen and put them in the driver's seat as things like action heroes and other things we just traditionally haven't seen these roles for women. Now it's not really open season. It's unnatural role reversal is what I see. It's like to the point where it doesn't make sense. Because like my little brother said, if the world is ending, it's not going to be all these girls that step up and fucking strap guns on and go out and fight the aliens or whatever it is. That's what my younger brother said to me. And there is some truth to that like we're different species, but also should we treat women like they're slaves and beat them up and like, you know, there's like, where do you draw the line? Because I hate that stuff. I hate when guys, like you see them co-ed volleyball game and a guy will be like dunking on a little girl and he'll go like bam and hit it so hard like it's firing down like a cannonball and she'll go like ugh! and then him and his buddies are going yeah and high-fiving. Like that is my worst hated thing in the world. when I see a guy like dunking on a girl and then gloating over it. Like I really hate that shit. And I'm not saying that because my wife's in the same room with me. I have a reaction with like sports guys. I'm not a sports guy. I'm more of a musician. So yeah,
Spiking. I think it's called spiking.
President Kamala is got to get used to saying that. Obama, Kalama.
Okay, you got it wrong. It's not Kalama.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same.
Kamala, and it would be Harris, President Harris.
They won't call her Harris. That sounds
name.
white. So, looking forward to when is beat?
November, right around the election. I think the week before.
I have a concert ticket. I'm going to see a band called Beat, and I'm excited about that. Hopefully, we'll get to go out and jam, make some music. We're going to be watching Borderlands. Oh, I've been gaming. I've been playing the balloon popping game, and in the background I was watching, like, I'll put something on, listening to like Fred Dibna, and then today I put Trout Mask Replica on and I listened to it twice. So I have a theory about Trout Mask Replica. I have a theory.
What is Trout Mask Replica, Petey?
It's an album by a guy named who called himself Captain Beefheart. Don Vliet is how I pronounce his name. I don't know how to properly pronounce his name. I pronounce it Don Vliet. You can say Don Villiet, but I say Don Vliet. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to say until I'm corrected. Captain Beefheart made this album with his Magic Band, and it's a thing on YouTube. This is like a rite of passage album, and I don't believe that this actually is a masterpiece, this album. I think this is a perfect example of Emperor's New Clothes. Now, there is one song, they do this one song live. It's a song where there's a guy with like he's got a white fedora with a black headband on it, and he's got like a silver suit, and he's playing, I think he's playing a small bass, maybe, or maybe it's a Strat, but he duck walks. There's a video of them playing, and they're superimposed upon somebody zooming in and out on a piece of tie-dye cloth, and he duck walks. He walks by with his guitar doing the duck neck thing. I don't know what song that is, but I like that song, and it's got a real syncopated feel to it, and like it is kind of a catchy thing, and there was that one thing in there that I was able to grab onto and be like, I really like that. So I don't know. I could be wrong. It could actually be like brilliant, because people say it is. People say Captain Beefheart's Trout Mask Replica is a masterpiece. I don't believe it. I think you can listen to it 30 or 40 times in a week, and you're just going to be hating life. It's not going to all of a sudden click with you. Because I've had some music do this with me. So I'm going to do an experiment on myself and see, can I force myself to like this music? And it's some of the most bizarre, according to what I know about this thing. He started out being friends with Zappa. They went their own ways. They both tried to put together bands. He went and tried recording this band, and they hired a producer to come in, and the guy put a flanger or a phase shifter on the master recording. And he's like, you ruined the album. Like, you don't just come in and put a phaser on the whole album. And like, they ran the master bus through a phaser to try to make it like psychedelic. And so he was furious, and they had obtained a house. So these guys were there for a year. They had a meeting at Frank Zappa's house, and he was talking to him, making a deal. We're going to record eventually. Zappa's going to record you, because previously the other deal they had, the producer screwed them by putting the phaser on the album. So when they were getting ready to leave, well, Frank said, you guys got to leave. Motorhead, Sherman is here. Well, Sherman came up and started playing piano, and Frank was coaching him and doing something with piano. And Don Vliet, Captain Beefheart, was staring. And when they got back to their house where they jammed, Beefheart said, I got to get a piano. And then what he did was come up with shit on the piano, and he would force those guys to play it. So that's how Trout Mask Replica was made. It was this guy getting ideas and coming up with these melodies and giving them to these guys. And they claimed he had no idea what a time signature was. But the parts are in different time signatures. So when you hear it, it sounds like everybody in the band is playing a different song. And that's the appeal, that's the sonic gift, that's the whole thing that is Captain Beefheart's Magic Band. It's so weird. The music is so far out there, you would have to be tripping on something hard to think that this is good. And I don't know how people got off on it, unless there's something that's going over my head. Because the way that my mind is programmed to respond to music is not programmed for this formula that Vliet was hip to, just being completely straight. So it's an interesting musical experiment on myself to see, am I going to end up coming out of the other end of a week of listening to Trout Mask Replica and say, I was wrong, I'm going to eat my words, Don Vliet is a fucking genius, and my new favorite band is Magic Band. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think I'm going to say there is moments in there where it's catchy, or there's moments where it's almost brilliant, but for the most part, it's a mishmash of stuff that doesn't really fit together. They're trying to force it together with an obvious line of, no, it's not like that, it's like this in different time signatures, because that's somehow the way that he heard it. Which makes it, like, to me, I don't know much about music theory, and there's people that can explain it, and the people who seem to be experts on this album seem to love this album. So it's a very, like, I had saved this for a rainy day. I'd say I knew about Trout Mask Replica since I was a kid. I knew about it since I was like 15. That this album presents a dilemma, and on the other side of that coin, if I don't like it, does that make me that I'm some kind of cretin or some lower form, that I'm a pleb, that I'm a simple mind? I don't know, and I don't think so. I honestly think it's the Emperor's new band. The people they say, oh, Don Blier was a genius because they want you to think, whoa, man, this guy gets the joke that I didn't get. He must be on another, he must really be some serious business. No. And I hate to, like, even thinking about it, overanalyzing it, or coming out and saying this on camera seems to taint my experiment. It seems to set me up for failure. But I won't. I'm honest enough about stuff like me being wrong on my first impression. Trust me. I've been wrong before. We were at the mall. We were at Chicago Ridge Mall in some weird music store, like the one that's in the far end of the store, not the one by the food court. And I go in there, and there's a Mr. Bungle CD, California, and I had no idea. I had just had the first one, and I hadn't thought about Mr. Bungle for a long time. The first album hadn't clicked with me really, I don't think, or maybe it had. But I bought the California album, and when I first listened to it, I was like, no, I don't like this. Like, it's all over the place. It's like they're trying to imitate all these other types of music, going through genres like this. I was like, I don't know. I really don't know about this. And then on like the third day, the song Air Conditioned Nightmare was playing in my head when I was at work. And I came home, and the fourth day it was like, holy shit, this is cool. And then by the fifth day I was like, and it was like a year straight of that's all that I listened to. This is all we're listening to. It's all that I listened to was California. I could not stop listening to it. But everybody else enjoyed it, so good for them. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. We're going to go watch that Borderlands movie. You guys try to stay cool. Enjoy your fall. This is my favorite season. I got my birthday coming up, so send me money and chocolate. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Give your pet a hug. Peace. Check out Trout Mask Replica and let me know what you think. It's on YouTube.